Alright, so I decided to take a little different track. That is the road we're usually on that we cross over. You usually see me film over this way to show the waterfalls and such. Well, I came across the creek and actually came down one of the outflows. So, yeah, my crippled old ass managed to pull it off. I'm impressed. But anyway, I found the old trail that we used to use when we were kids out here. It's partially washed out from the outflow, from the runoff from the mountains and such. But yeah, I'm going to follow it that way and then head back that way, see if I can find the trailhead. I think it's still there because I've seen some people down here from the bridge. But yeah, take a bit of a wee bit different tour from what I usually do. And I'm going to clip this to my backpack because I was way the hell up at the base of that waterfall on the other side, so I took gear with me this time. But yeah, so I'm going to clip it to the strap and hopefully I don't bounce around too much or get my beard in the way. That looks like it works. You see where the runoff is actually taking out part of the trail. Thing is, this trail's been here for shit since I was a kid back in the 80s and 90s, or I should say 80s and then 90. And the big trail that they added up there, the fancy one with the planks and such, is already heading downhill, and it's not even 2 years old. So, just goes to show you, low impact is better. Work with nature, not against her, and she won't poke you in the eye. You occasionally see people down there panning for gold, and sometimes they actually do pull up some. There's still gold in the mountain. They just make more money off tourism than they do off opening the mines back up. Besides, we got 2 active gold and silver mines in the area anyway, Greens Creek and Kensington. And they're away from tourist spots, so they don't impact the bottom line of the cruise ship money. Yeah, Q sounded disgusted at that thought. Yeah, you can already see how the slope is starting to come down from the trail up there. The trees are falling. Nature's going to kick them in the teeth here pretty shortly. I've seen people bringing down portable dredges for, or not dredges, sorry. They're basically sluice gates, little man-portable things that the water and all the silt and stuff runs through. And they will shove them down into the creek. The heavier stuff falls down into the grates, and the lighter stuff goes filtering down and hits a screen where it's collected. And they'll get gold flakes out of that. The river's washed out. Yeah, trail's been destroyed here. Used to keep going further up. Well, either we have an infestation of she or somebody got really ballsy and decided to go out there and get on a rock. Probably the latter. Alright, new trail's been cut through there, so it looks like they lost part of it due to a tree fall, but you can just get around that. Little trivia fact, I actually lost a spear out here when I was hunting 33 years ago now. There used to be a waterfall further upstream to where they rebuilt the sluice gate. We were crossing a log that went across the creek. I threw it to the other side and it hit, bounced off and dropped down into the waterfall and disappeared. Some archaeologists are probably going to find that 1,000 years from now and wonder what the hell. Little ASMR for you guys. Alright, looks like that cuts back up to the main trail over there, and I don't want to follow that because I know where that goes. So we're going to go back the other way, see if I can find, I think they rebuilt the old rickety-ass bridge we used to take across the creek, down that way. I saw one down below when I was crossing over. So hopefully it's open to the public, because if not, that would annoy the shite out of me. And yes, my bro gets sicker when I get out in the woods. Don't ask me why. I let my guard down. I start trying to force the accent. And I know people can't understand half the fucking things coming out of my mouth, and I cuss a lot more, but eh. It's like, I swear, I grew up most of my life here. I mean, it's not exactly an Alaskan accent, but still. And I got my trusty blackthorn. Beat to shite, but it's a polycarbonate one, so it's not really breakable. Because I am a crippled old fart, after all. I just never got the memo. And there is the infamous rock. Those of you that know that story, you know it. I don't need to go into it because we could probably still get in trouble for that. But yeah. And my tree was shit. Probably got cut down because it was over that way. And then Pat followed this trail at about Mach 2 and didn't stop till he hit downtown, thinking we were behind him. Oops, apologies, filming, so I'll block it so it doesn't catch you. I said, sorry, I was filming, I blocked it so it didn't catch you.
Oh, it's okay.
All right.
I'm sorry about that.
Oh, no worries, not your fault. I try to be courteous. Not everybody wants a face on YouTube. She was cute though. Alright. I managed to navigate that without falling on my arse. I'm impressed. Yep, they did rebuild the bridge. It's still working. I gotta double check it. Shut off for me before. Yep. Yeah, you don't want to miss on that jump. Now I found out the reason why a lot of things looked kind of familiar but not is because they pretty much terraformed the whole sections of this thing. Like that bridge and that entire trail weren't there when I was a kid. That thing wasn't even here 2 years ago. That's brand spanking new. And they, instead of doing like this trail where you work with the land and follow the slope of the land, they just decided, screw it, we know better. We have the hubris of city folk. We're just going to redesign the land and make it work around what we want, which is why it's crumbling and falling to pieces. And that one got hit by a big damn rock and is no longer traversable by vehicles because it took significant damage. Whereas this trail has been here for 50 fucking years and it's still here, still traversable. Yeah, I know these videos often turn into rants about people coming up and fucking with my home, but you know what? It's my bloody home. You wouldn't look at if somebody came in and decided rearranging your furniture and stacking shit up on top of the kitchen table, now would you? It's the same principle. These people aren't from here. They're not born and raised here. Granted, I wasn't born here, but I grew up here. And they bring their idiot ideology from down south up here, which is based around making everything cityfied. This is a goddamn frontier. You don't do that. You live with it, or it will kick you in the teeth. Trust me, people have tried. This used to be heavily modified for mining. And you can't tell except for a handful of things that are still there. If you look up there, I don't know if you can see in the tree line, those aren't trees, that's actual scaffolding for where they had one of the supports for one of the sluice gates coming down. That's all that remains of what used to be this massive mining complex. Because whether you want to call her Gaia, Mother Nature, Iryu in our case, doesn't make any difference. She will bitch slap you for trying to get your way against her. It just may take a matter of time. No, I'm not a hippie. I just grew up in the woods and I know it. I feel it. I sense it. As esoteric as that sounds, this place does have a soul. It has a spirit. You work with it, it'll work with you. You work against it, you're going to lose. Not that the city council is going to take my advice. One of their fucking members was up here yesterday in a goddamn suit and tie. I'm not kidding. I don't know what the hell he was thinking. Huh. Apparently it's not supposed to be open to the public, but somebody said, fuck that. It is now. Did I mention Alaskans have a defiant streak a mile wide? We do. Just saying. So that trail continues along that way and you cross over here and you get up to the park, I believe. So that's where I'm going to go because it is getting a little on the late side and I do need to get back to my kids. But yeah, that was the trail we used to take.